Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading for August 2024, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with a Prince of Cups. This is an inner truth, right? You're somebody with a very strong sense of your own mission, you know. You're what I would think of as kind of a natural artist, you know. You're always finding ways for you to express yourself in different ways. Maybe not traditionally creative or artistic ways, but very much is creative, okay? This is somebody who's very susceptible to the opinions of others, to the emotions of others, right? Your aura is very permeable right now because you're trying to be open, you know, and receptive. You're trying to also express yourself in a very authentic way. This is really the card of authentic expression, okay? Which does leave you open to the energies coming in. I feel that lately you've been very sensitive. You've been very moved by flattery and criticism, okay? You're very open right now. But let's see what you're working on. Where is this energy taking you? I think that you're very much applying yourself to the manifestation of your feelings right now, right? Your internal experience of life. We're looking for a way to manifest that. Okay, so it's really a striving for living in that authentic way. Yeah. Let's see where this energy is going. Next card is the Magician. Perfect, right? This is your path, right? The Magician is the one that can take what is within and can manifest it in a flawless, kind of perfect way, you know? This is like the example I use really is that for myself, I might have an image in my head. You know, either I'll hear a song or something, or I'll see a picture in my head and I'll want to draw it, right? But now the picture in my head and what ends up on the paper, vastly different, right? I feel like the Magician is your ability to do just that, to take what is within you, heart and soul, you know, take your authenticity, take your authentic self. Take this feeling, this belief, this mission, this sense of self even, this creative vision that you have. And you're able to manifest it in the world flawlessly. It looks exactly the way you pictured it, right? This is very, very good energy. So I feel like this is you achieving this. This is you, there's a sense of victory here. Right? Because you're finding the right medium through which to express yourself. Now, my problem is I'll see the picture in my head, but I'm terrible at drawing. Obviously, that's not the way for me to express myself, you know? And I think we all have that problem. We all have this rich inner life, some of us more than others. This sense of self, this authenticity, this vision that we have, this imagination, this experience in us. And we want to live a life that is reflective of that. The Magician is the energy when we find the right medium of our own expression. So to me, this feels like this is your new path. Okay? You're finding the right path for you, the right medium through which to express your authenticity. Okay? The Magician's also the card that it kind of accepts things the way they are, is able to use the raw materials that are available to us. In other words, it's not me trying to force myself to draw, even though I practice and I watch the tutorial things on YouTube. I just can't get it. I don't have that natural talent for that, you know? If I did, perhaps the magician would then be me refining that natural talent so that it can be the appropriate medium, the vehicle through which I express myself. So we have to accept our own natures. My nature, just not that of a visual artist. I know that about myself, you know. My wife designed the set, you know. She's over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. Go check it out. She does marvelous work over there. But I think that this is you discovering what is your natural talent, really, and refining it, right? Taking yourself as you are, learning what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and then optimizing things, okay? That's the magician. Let's see what else is going on. What's underneath the surface here? The star. Yeah, of course. What else would it be? The star is the, well, I mean, I kind of just said all of it. And I'll say it again, though, with the star energy. I guess I was a little ahead of things. The star is the divine light that comes in. It illuminates who we are inside. It shows you your true nature. Shows you where your blockages are, where your strengths and weaknesses are, what needs to be optimized in here. You know, we got to defrag our souls, right? Because then, once we can do that, internal part, then the light starts to spill out from us into the world around us. And we are expressing ourselves. We can see the light is shining the path forward, and we know our destiny. We know what path is meant for us to walk because you're discovering the right, correct, appropriate medium for you through which you can express your authenticity. Okay. So the star is the revelation of both where our blockages are, our strengths and weaknesses, everything going on inside of us, even the vision that we want to express. And then the light outside is us doing that very thing. Okay? And this is something that's underneath the surface in you. So you do have this sneaking suspicion of what your destiny is, what your path really is supposed to be. In the past position, 3 of Wands, identity. So I feel as if you've done the first half of this star work. You know who you are. This is the sun in Aries. This is a full inner illumination of who you are. You're in your very best energy right now, Aries. Very best energy right now. And it really is just a matter of you finding the right medium and refining yourself, right? We don't go through this process and think, okay, well, if I was really meant to be a visual artist, then I would just be able to grab a pen and draw something flawlessly. I'd never have to practice. I would just be able to pick up a guitar and be a virtuoso. No training needed. You know, it doesn't work that way. The magician is us realizing that. The fool is the natural talent. The magician is the skill to go along with that. Okay? The magician is that one on stage doing the magic show, performing flawlessly the guitar thing, you know, whatever it is, doing the magic, right? But what you don't see, us in the audience, we're watching 45 minutes, we're watching a show. You know, I think of like Danny Carey from Tool, right, up on stage. Guy's got 8 arms, right? I heard he's a fan of the channel too. He watches his readings here. Anyway, shout out to Danny. He is this virtuoso on the drums. And we're sitting there in the audience watching for 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And that's what we see. We don't see the decades of practice and sacrifice and love and passion that he put into refining his natural. Now, he's probably born a good drummer. This guy's from another planet, right? He was born a good drummer, had that natural talent, I imagine. But it was through the practice and the refinement of that he was able to really hone that into mastery, okay? So we have to understand that it takes a lot of hard work to do that, okay? And that really is, I think, that's the big victory here. The big victory is you knowing what it takes to really refine that natural talent and find your voice, to find your thing, your medium of expressing your authenticity, your authentic self, your own voice. And now, of course, the adjustment card is showing us what we may have to sacrifice. It's us evaluating things. It's us in every moment judging. Wait, judging's bad. We shouldn't judge. you're not judging anything's intrinsic value. I was going to say you're not adjusting anything. You're not judging anything's intrinsic value. What you are is weighing how appropriate things are for you in your life, right? So in order to achieve the kind of victory that we want here, the kind of expression, the kind of mastery, maybe, you have to be able to weigh every option in your life. Do I do this or do I do that? What is going to get me closer to my goal? Is it this or is it that? Is it doing this thing or not doing this thing right now in this moment? We have to be discerning. And we have to be led by, of course, that sense of destiny, that sense of identity. And that will show you, that will tell you in every moment whether you're on the right path or if we have to adjust and course correct, do these little micro adjustments in our day-to-day lives and habits and even in our thinking, in our relationships. We're evaluating everything in our lives. Every moment is that judgment, that discernment, that higher discernment. Okay? What is it leading you to? Oh, interesting. Leading you to more Libra energy. It is now the Knight of Swords that you're looking toward. Okay? So I feel like this is really you making some big decisions regarding your life, regarding your relationships, regarding the things that you are involved with, and kind of weighing whether or not they resonate with your identity, resonate with your path, resonate with your authenticity and your kind of chosen medium, and they resonate with your chosen path, right? So this is kind of taking things on those individual account. This is the theory of it, right? And this is you really doing it in practice, right? Of evaluating things. And maybe we do have to sort of streamline our life or economize things in order to continue doing this intense work that you're after, right? Whatever this is exactly. Now, I also have the impression that you lost something recently. I don't know if something was stolen from you, if you misplaced something, but I'm hearing that you're going to find it in a couple days. And I don't know what that is, but something has kind of gone missing in your life, right? An object or something. Maybe it's the car keys. Maybe it's the phone. I don't know. Something has been misplaced or lost. It will be returned to you in a couple days, okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and it's going to go right over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. I can't believe it's been a whole 7 rounds already, and we're back to Tiny Bob Ross. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. All right. If you have a prediction, put in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free. It supports the channel. I appreciate that. Also, down below in the video description, links to my official Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. The only official accounts are following those links. There are a lot of imposters. All right. So hopefully by the time you see this, I'll have some content up there for you. But be sure you only follow the ones that I link to, because everything else is a fakie. All right. General energy now, Path of the Serpent. You have the Two of Swords. See, now we're really getting this. This is more Libra energy, Libra. We're getting this idea of judgment, this idea of weighing things, of judging things, of adjusting our course, of making these small, minor, day-to-day kind of decisions that are going to keep you on course. And we really know, with the Two of Swords at least, that we have to follow our intuition. We have to follow the spiritual light. We have to follow our psychic kind of perception, in order to kind of see how our path is sort of navigating through space and time. It's not so much an intellectual process. I know we said that we're weighing the options, we're judging and evaluating, but it's that higher discernment, guided by the intuition, by the spiritual light, not through just my mind rationalizing things. Well, this path is probably better over here than this one. Sometimes we are drawn toward a certain decision that rationally might think, that can't be right. and then we're going to kind of get into a little argument with ourselves about what we should do. We always default to the spiritual discernment, to the guiding light, to the intuition. Okay, the intuition and the intellect sort of need to have a conversation. They can sort of like validate or confirm each other, but really it has to come down to that intuition. You got to trust your gut. You got to trust that higher wisdom and higher discernment rather than our intellectual mind, because our rational intellectual mind sometimes can steer us wrong. Okay, let's see what's in your environment. The Prince. See, now we've got some court cards here. So it is about other people. It's about relationships in your life. I feel like there's a younger person in your life, or maybe they're about the same age as you, but I kind of feel like they have a little bit of an immature energy about them. And I feel like they're really like drawing energy from you. They're really, for some reason, requiring a lot of your attention right now. Might be a family member, a friend, could be a relationship thing, or it could be something at work, a coworker. But I really feel that there's big demands on your attention currently. Okay, and that's something that we've got to deal with, and with all the idea of the balance here and stuff, it's not always possible for us in every single moment to choose our path, our destiny, our commitment to our work and our authentic voice and all this stuff we're talking about. We can't do it perfectly every single time, right? Because sometimes we have to be willing to put what we're doing on hold to go take care of other responsibilities. And the secret there is that it's all part of the path. Okay? So there's this idea sometimes that if I'm not focused on my work, my voice, my intentional path, and I'm doing something else for someone else or doing something, different, that somehow I'm wasting time. And I used to feel that way. If I'm not focused on my spiritual practice, my meditation and stuff like that, my studies, then I'm wasting time. And I felt guilty. I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. It's not like that. It's all part of the path. Okay? So make sure that you're not too rigid or strict with yourself, because there are other people that rely on you for things. Maybe you're a boss at work or something like that, or you're kind of one of the leaders of your friend group, or in the family situation, there's a lot of other responsibilities for you, right? Now, you smoke, or you used to smoke, or somebody around you smokes, right? I don't know why I'm getting that impression, but there's somebody smokes around you. And I don't know if that's something that bothers you, or if it's, I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of contention there with the smoking, yeah. It feels like maybe it's a family member, and it's just kind of, you've had enough of it. It's like, go outside and do it kind of thing, yeah. So the Prince of Wands in the environment, right? It's we have Prince of Water and Prince of Fire, yeah. So we have this kind of commitment in both places. This is you committed to your imagination, your vision of the world, your voice, and this is you committed to your plan of action. Committed to your decisions and your will and your path and all of the things that you need to do for you every single day and every single moment, right? We've got to bring in a little bit of the balance with things, and so we have this commitment to our work, like I just was saying, but if we have other commitments and other responsibilities, that's okay, right? There's got to be a balance, otherwise we kind of become like very rigid, like tyrants of our own lives, and then we're so focused on this work that we're doing that maybe we lose perspective, that maybe we lose connections with other people. See, I don't have a lot of water in the reading yet. What's coming next? Another court card. Another court card. Let's do an angel number real quick. I feel like you have a lot of relationships, right? A lot of friends or a lot of family members, a lot of people that they all need attention in some way, shape, or form, but it kind of feels like you just want to focus on what you're working on, right? And so we're kind of getting a little bit frustrated with all these other people. It's like you just keep getting, every time you settle down to do your work, you keep getting another phone call, right? 0220, act on your idea. A realistic and practical approach to goals. Divine timing, ambition, cooperation, and discipline. You have the benefit of good fortune, and if you use your wise judgment, you can do anything. In this place, you can reach new heights. You should act on your potential when you see this pattern, since what you plant will grow. You're about to experience a spectacular ascent. See, I feel like this is a victory. I feel like you are finding your path, and now it's just a matter of sticking to it and focusing on it as much as you can, while also not getting too frustrated when life pulls you in other directions, right? So when we see the Queen of Swords, this is really about getting a higher perspective. And it's hard to do. When we're down in the trenches, it's hard to see anything other than what's right in front of you. But if we get this bird's eye view, right, then we can see the larger picture, that we can see a huge chunk of time and space, right, like this much. And so even if you're trying to focus on your work, but you're getting pulled and twisted around in different directions of life, if you get that bird's eye view, you can see that even with all the twists and turns and all the other little side quests and other responsibilities, that you're still making steady progress. It just, in the moment, it may not feel that way, but do not despair. Okay? It's all part of the path. Sometimes our paths are very straight. Sometimes they're a little bit circuitous, right? But we're getting there. And as long as you keep pushing and you keep working hard and you try to keep a balance, the balance between your commitments to other people outside of you and your commitment to the work that you're doing here internally, we got to try to stay balanced, right? We don't want to lean too far in either direction there, and and then we might see a different bird's eye view, right, of that progress. It's difficult to get. That's why this is in the position of the difficulty. It's really hard to see that bigger picture, especially when we're in the moments, you know. But look at that. Oh, that is the victory. That is the result of this path. If you can maintain the balance between your inner commitments and your outer commitments, you will live a life that is very, very satisfying, that's full of happiness. This is the happiness that keeps on happening. This is the love that keeps on loving. This is the dream that keeps on dreaming, right? This is the light that keeps on lighting, the bliss that keeps on blissing, you know? It's a way of life. It's a function, okay? And I think it feels this good when we're right in that sweet spot, right in that balanced place where we've got our interpersonal relationships balanced with our commitment to our own personal path and our own personal work, right? Because, you know, you don't want to be so devoted to other people that you lose yourself, but you don't want to be so committed and rigidly focused on your work that you lose your connections with other people, right? We want a life that is physically and financially abundant, mentally and emotionally satisfying, and spiritually, creatively fulfilling. We want all of it. This is the perfectly superabundant life that has everything it needs to keep going and keep living in this way. That is, I think that this is the victory of life. This is really what it means to win in life, you know? Let's do a couple of oracle cards real quick. I want to show you these new empowerment oracle cards. I think we could use a little bit of this. Pillar of leadership. I am a leader. I speak in confidence with authority. I lead by example. I am a pillar of character that holds the weight of responsibility for my people. This is it, right? This is what we've been talking about. That you have these commitments, you have these obligations, you have other people that rely on you. Sometimes it feels as if they're just sucking energy from you. But there's a reason why you're there. You are, like I said, you're a leader of the family or of the company, the department that you're in. You have responsibilities to other people and to other goals, other objectives, right? And so really part of this work is learning how to have your authentic expression and your creativity and your voice in all of your relationships, in all areas of life, not just in this particular, not just with the guitar playing, right? But to find your voice and find your path in every situation that you're in. Yeah. This is very good. I think this is right on the nose. Let's take a look at the mystery card. All right? Let's see what Tiny Bob Ross has for us today. I feel like you've been doing some sort of open mic things, right? I feel like you've been on stage doing something anyway. I don't know if it's reciting poetry or singing or something. There's a microphone. You're using your voice, I believe. But I think you've been kind of experimenting with different things like that. Yeah. Different ways of expressing yourself. Yeah. And maybe you've been giving presentations at work or at school, right? Maybe you've been orating, something like that, where you're kind of, you're using your voice in different ways, not just the obvious way. So the mystery card, well, I kind of feel like we need some earth energy here, be honest with you, because we don't have any. So I want to see the kind of, the practical side of things. I want some earth. I don't care what kind, any kind. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. It's the Lovers. Interesting. The Lovers is really both sides of the coin here. It's one thing, it's your commitment to your voice. This is the card of prophecy, of speaking your voice, right? Of using your voice, of having that inspiration that then needs to come out of you in some way, right? And that's what we've been talking about. But this card is also about togetherness, community, relationships, unions. And it's the commitment that you have to your people, your friends, your family, your pets, your plants, So it is the balance between those commitments and those relationships that you value, the intimacy in your life with other people, as well as your intimate connection with your spiritual life, your spiritual quest, your destiny, your path, your expression, your creativity. And it really, I think, they feed each other. You can be inspired through your relationships and through your intimacy with other people and through that kind of joy and all those interactions, all those moments, right, out in the world. Inspire your creativity. It's kind of like it's the poet who doesn't have anything to write about, It's the musician that can't think of any song to write. We need our experience out in the world in order to inspire us and give us something to sing about. Yeah. That's what this card is. This is the perfect confirmation because it is the balance between both sides. And again, it's a symbiotic relationship. They feed on each other. They help each other out here. So this is excellent. Well, we're going to do an extended reading too if you want to stick around. There's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Aries are on Mondays. Okay? You get your bonus readings on Fridays. Yeah. So be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know where we might be able to hear your voice. All right? Or read it or see it or watch it or whatever. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.